I'm the Vice President of Operations here at the 9/11 Park. And without any further ado, the Nassau County Pipes and Drums. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Caitlin Burney.
God bless America, land that I love. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Vice President of Community Outreach of the Park, and I'd like to welcome Bill Benson, Reverend Bill Benson to the invitation.
Thank you, Ms. Mommy. Good morning, 9/11 Responder families. 17 years ago, I stood on the bedrock of the World Trade Center, receiving families. This year, I stood on a beautiful memorial receiving families. Today, we stand on bedrock. No matter whatever is built at the 9/11 Memorial, this is bedrock. My signage today is a cap from the Oklahoma City Police Memorial, a button from Las Vegas, a button from Parkland, Florida, and steel from Tower 2 of the World Trade Center. This is where I come to pray. This is where I come to ask God to have mercy on those families, to heal their broken hearts. I ask you to bow your heads in prayer with me. Almighty eternal God, not thy will, but thy will be done, are the words that Jesus offered to surrender himself. And today, I ask that you would help each family member, each loved one here, surrender themselves to your will. Let us remember that on any given day we have more blessings to count than problems to observe. We are a nation of blessings overflowing, and yet we are men whose hearts need to be cleansed. The attack on the World Trade Center set in motion the names that will be placed on the wall today to remember those heroes who gave their lives for the furtherance of this country to always answer a challenge. Today, as we have first responders in storm's way, we pray for them, the United States military, law enforcement, fire service, EMS, as they prepare to do their job, leaving their families and attending to those whose names they do not know. Today, as we honor those whose names are placed on this wall, be close, embrace these families, embrace the children, embrace the mothers and fathers, embrace those who need your abiding love and your abiding touch. Embrace this nation. We are one under you, God. Embrace us, bring us together, give us a disposition to love one another, that we may honor the memory of those whose names go up on the wall today and represent sacrifice, represent service, represent dignity, represent the honor with which we look at our American flag. Be our God in times of trouble, Lord. We need you now. Bless these families today as they go forward in their healing, and all those throughout this nation preparing to honor their loved ones. Give us your hand of mercy and grace. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Now I'd like to call John Magnan up for a poem that he wrote in honor of 9/11.
Thank you. I'd like to say it's an honor to be here. I was a first responder, 18 hours a day it happened. I did about 1,500 hours during the recovery effort. A very good friend of mine, Andy Lewis, passed away last year of 9/11 injuries. And my partner, Tony Milo, we went and saw him in the hospital. A month later, he passed away. And I got a pen and a paper, and I wrote down this tribute. And it's a tribute to the people that have died on 9/11, but also it acknowledges the people that are sick, that are dying every day. I think I had a little help from the people on the wall, because I'm really not a good poet, but if you read it, there's a beautiful plaque over by the gazebo. It's called 9/11 Angels. There's two angels there. They light up at night. One's blue for the police, the other one is red for the firemen. So just read this for you, you'll understand. The flames are gone, the smoke has cleared. The site is busy with no new fears. Some people have forgotten this tragic event through the past years. Now first responders' families live with new fears. They were called into action, and many did race for the silent danger not knowing they would face. Now history will amend, its numbers continue to rise. Many are paying their short lives. The city has survived an unknown fate. Now it's up to God to open the gate. The glow at night above the sky is patrolled by 9/11 angels. And never forget why. So this I may say, for all that will hear, remember those 9/11 angels are out there, and have no more fear. God bless all 9/11 first responders and their family. It's written by me. It's in memory of police officer Andy Lewis, but it's dedicated to all 9/11 first responders. Thank you very much for the audience.
Friends, for those who don't know me, my name is Martin Aponte. I proudly served this park and the 9/11 community as president for the last 4 years. My time has served was the most rewarding thing I have ever done in my life. I now, as chairman of the park, it's time to hand over the reins to a new president. And the park board could not have chosen a better replacement for me. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce Judy Simmons, widow of the firefighter Martin Simmons, FDNY, and our new president. Judy.
I thank you all for coming here today to honor those heroes whose names will be read shortly, and to support their families. I am honored to be speaking to you today as the park president. Not only is this park located in the town my husband Marty and I chose to live in and raise 3 beautiful sons, Joe, Kevin, and Ryan, but sadly my husband's name is inscribed on this wall. I am dedicated to keeping this park a beautiful place for all to visit and to remember their loved ones. This dedication comes from my heart, where my husband will always remain. To the families and friends who have lost loved ones, please accept our heartfelt condolences and know that you now have an extended family who understands your loss. This park board is comprised of people who have lost loved ones, 9/11 responders who fight their own battles each day, and community members who just genuinely care. Wow. Please know that you are always in our hearts and you are always in our thoughts, always in our prayers, and you will forever be embraced in our arms. Thank you. Please allow me to introduce Emily Morris, who will be playing Amazing Grace on her violin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pete Curcio, and I'm a board member with 9/11 Responders Memorial Park. I have the distinct pleasure today to introduce our keynote speaker, John Field. Many of you already know John Field and the things that he's done, but sadly there's some new folks to our community who may not know and probably just need a little window into who John is. John serves as both head of the Feel Good Foundation and CEO of the 9/11 Responders Park. John is also a 9/11 iron worker who was seriously injured on the pile. Aside from that, John is also a U.S. Army airborne veteran and a kidney donor to somebody that he didn't know. To show you what kind of man that John is, John even recently talked about donating his second kidney, and I told him probably not a good idea because we need him to lead the park. Even more important to us in the community, John is our 9/11 warrior. The dictionary defines warrior as an experienced or brave soldier or fighter. John has proven that time and time again as he fights and wins, bringing back legislation and support the 9/11 community. When John goes to Capitol Hill, people actually hide. Not figuratively, they actually hide from John when he walks the halls of Congress with his team. Besides all those things, for me, one of the things that's most personally remarkable about John is at the pile, John had an 8,000-pound beam fall on his foot. He lost half his foot, encountered multiple surgeries, And like my father, who is a Korean War vet, who comes from the greatest generation, I have never once heard John, never once complain, my foot is bothering me when he's walking the halls. Never once did he say when he was setting up last night into the late hours, my foot is bothering me, or getting here early this morning to make sure this demonstration or performance went well. So, but that's not the impressive part. The impressive part is he'll use that same foot to stick it up the legislator's rear end who's not following his legislation. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, John Clark.
First, let me go through the list of acknowledgments. I want to thank Congressman Zeldin and Swazi for being here. New York City Corrections Commissioner Cynthia Braun, Comptroller Kennedy, Legislator Kennedy, Town Clerk Pascal, if I miss these, let me know. Ed Wernheim, Vinnie Pulio, Town Receiver Baricchio, did I say that right? Baricchio, and Councilwoman Inzarello, Inzarello, did I say that right? I'm good. If I missed an elected official, I apologize, but we know you're all here. I want to thank the local fire departments for putting up the flag, and again, supporting this park. Suffolk County PD. I want to thank Michael Barish for being here, and every 9/11 responder and widow who's here today. And Steve Ballone, are you here? You're late, do push-ups. Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone is usually late, so. What a year since we saw you last. We got a bill passed in Albany. We got the nicest pension system to change the way they operate and help those affected by 9/11. And we got the 9/11 Memorial Museum to build us a memorial on their plaza grounds. Yes. We've been busy, but none of that means anything. That just pads the resume. Personally, this has been my worst year physically, trying to save my knee, my hip. Not once, going through procedure after procedure, did I tell anybody and let anybody know. Financially, the Feel Good Foundation sponsored 13 golf outings this summer, 2 hockey games, and a fundraiser. The financial drain made me have to take a job. I actually get paid now. I am in the workforce. I know, and I still do everything else. But there's no place that I'd rather be than here. When we had this chance and worked with Comptroller Kennedy, who was a legislator at the time, and they said, let's build a park. We made sure that it was a park insured for those who died since 9/11. We made sure that they're not forgotten. And while there's parks and memorials everywhere for those who died that horrific Tuesday morning, they're always remembered. But 9/11 is the longest day in the history of days. And it's not over. It's a continuum. People are still sick and dying. And that's why we're here today. We're here to honor them. We're always going to remember them. We're here to stand in the heat and sacrifice an hour out of our day to pay respect, not just to your loved one who's on that wall, but to everybody who's on that wall, because they were our nation's greatest resources. The government can pump their chest, state, local, and federal, but it was the spirit of the American people, good triumphing over evil, that cleaned up Lower Manhattan, that walked the halls of Congress, and built a park. It's called humanity. Humanity doesn't trickle its way down from D.C. to New York or across the country. Humanity trickles its way to D.C. So congressmen, go back to D.C. with some humanity, not questioning YouTube and your humanity. But I'm coming in a month. And I'm bringing a bunch of hardcore ass-kicking 9/11 responders. And these guys will walk the halls again. And we'll be challenging other members' humanity. We respect anybody who opposes us. That's an opinion, that's all right. But if anybody tries to obstruct our bill, plays politics with our bill, kicks the can down the road, moves the goal line. I'm using 24-hour news cycle cliches. If anybody plays dirty politics, I will get arrested. They will have to tase me. We're fighting, so we don't have to keep adding names to our wall. There's a lot of widows here today. Sorry's not good enough. I'm sorry for your loss is not good enough. We could have did a better job. We dropped the ball, is what should have been said. But this group of people behind me, they took that ball and ran with it. So on behalf of Congress, we're here to apologize for them. And again, this is not on you two, you weren't there. You guys got into the game late, and I don't even question your friendships. But there were members before you that put us through the mill. After 1,100 meetings, after 257 trips, after walking the halls of Congress that would equal the circumnavigating the earth 3 times, we're tired. We're not going back to ask. We're not going back to beg. We're demanding. We're on a mission. These events, every Saturday after the anniversary, are painful. Painful. I hate doing interviews. I hate giving speeches. I want to get on with my own life. A third of my life has been 9/11. I want to leave this park to Charlie and Crystal and Judy. I want to go on and see what other things I can do. But until then, we all have a job. And everybody's got a job here today. There's no politics in this park. It's humanity. You leave here, you get out to Gibbs Pond Road to Smithtown Boulevard. You can go back to being a Republican or a Democrat. But in this park, you're an American. In this park, you're a human being. The fact that you guys aren't hugging each other right now and shaking each other's hand and saying, hey, I'm Bob, I'm Carol. Hey, I'm Ted. Hey, I lost my husband. Oh, so did I. The best thing that's ever happened to me, the best thing that's ever happened to me was the friends that I made along the way of my fight. So if you're not making friends today, then I question your humanity. Thank you. And now, while we're all here, the reading of the names by Matt McCulley and Anthony Flamia.
Police Officer Michael J. Gay, New York City Police Department. Police Officer Dennis McClarney, New York City Police Department. Chief William T. Salvatore, Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, TVA. Detective James J. Albanese, New York City Police Department. Firefighter William J. Bromley, Fire Department, City of New York. Police Officer Kelly C. Korchak, New York City Police Department. Firefighter Stephen M. Johnson, Fire Department, City of New York. Captain Robin L. Pilcher, Utah Task Force 1. Detective Sean Franklin, New York City Police Department. Lieutenant John Rowland, New York City Police Department. Lieutenant Raymond W. Alexander, Fire Department, City of New York. Louis DeBella, New York City Department of Sanitation. Fire Marshal Tom Driscoll, Fire Department, City of New York. Sergeant Stephen Scalza, New York City Police Department. Captain Gerald E. Mines, New York City Police Department. EMS Lieutenant Renee Davila, Fire Department, City of New York. Captain Sandra M. Lesko, Willoughby Hills Fire Department. Firefighter Edward F. Riley, Jr., Fire Department, City of New York. Police Officer David Mohammed, New York City Police Department. Police Officer Frank J. Pizzo, New York City Police Department. Police Officer Fred J. Crimes, New York City Police Department. Emergency Medical Technician William F. Ryan, Bay Community Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Police Officer Diane Halbrin, New York City Police Department. Marine Engineer Robert W. Alexander, Fire Department, City of New York. Police Officer Bernard L. Skinner, New York City Police Department. Police Officer Louis Palermo, Jr., Nassau County Police Department. Police Mechanic Christopher E. Hobart, New York State Police. Robert J. Regensberger, Sr., volunteer. Gerald J. Quill, Local 15. Team Leader Stephen M. Santori, Department of Energy. Dr. Chris J. Bosch, Missouri Task Force 1. William A. Critton, Local 580. Police Officer Walter L. Mallinson, Harrison Police Department. Michael J. Quinn, Local 3. Sergeant Christopher M. Christodoula, New York City Police Department. Police Officer James V. Quinn, Nassau County Police Department. Special Agent Mark C. Johnston, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Firefighter Thomas W. Dodal, Sr., Fire Department, City of New York. John J. Riley, Sr., John J. Riley, Jr., Local 237. Detective Megan K. Carr Wilkes, New York City Police Department. Fari Amato, Sr., Petmore Construction. Richard C. Hartman, Sr., Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Larry O. Rapp, Florida 1 Disaster Medical Assistance Team. Firefighter Robert M. Talarcio, Fire Department, City of New York. Lieutenant Paul E. Geidel, Fire Department, City of New York. Deputy Chief Gene M. Dannenfelser, Camden County Fire Marshal. Lieutenant Edward McDonough, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter Joseph A. Toohey, Fire Department, City of New York. Court Officer Patrick M. Murphy, New York State Office of Court Administration. Frank R. Svoboda, Con Edison. Special Agent Dennis Benelli, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Richard E. Rodenheiser, Con Edison. Correction Officer Lawrence W. Lamy, Nassau County Sheriff's Department. Sergeant Michael V. Incontrera, New York City Police Department. Trooper Dennis J. Burgos, New York State Police. Officer Eugene G., New York City Parks Enforcement Patrol. Detective James A. Schiavone, Jr., New York City Police Department. Captain Douglas G. Greenwood, New York City Police Department. United States Marine Anthony J. Egan, volunteer. Police Officer Kendrick Gadrag McFadden, New York City Police Department. Detective John Muller, New York City Police Department. Alex Karasavadis, New York City Department of Sanitation. Holly Anderson, American Red Cross. Trooper Michael J. Anson, New York State Police. Lieutenant Paul Murphy, New York City Police Department. Lieutenant Joseph R. Stach, Jr., Fire Department, City of New York. Detective Anthony M. Angati, New York City Police Department. Emergency Medical Technician Stephen Schenkman, Fire Department, City of New York. Police Officer Cynthia C. Shelto, New York City Police Department. Ian A. McDonald, volunteer. Structural Mechanic Pasqualino Rizzo, New York City Port Authority. Retired Sergeant Michael J. Lowry, New York City Police Department. Edward A. Quirk, United States Army Corps of Engineers. Bruce R. Zamelski, OSHA. Police Officer Patrick Shuriko, New York City Police Department. Carlo Credo, Tully Construction. Daniel Marucci, Verizon. Sergeant Gary K. McDonald, New York City Police Department. Roberto Santiago, New York City Transit Authority. Firefighter Robert L. Burns, Fire Department, City of New York. Dr. Jeffrey Sosinski, Department of Health. Firefighter William Leach, Fire Department, City of New York. Investigator Michael Petrie, New York State Police. EMS Lieutenant Joseph S. Santa Marina, Fire Department, City of New York. Paramedic Anthony J. Santa Marina, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter Raymond Phillips, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter Ronald P. Svek, Fire Department, City of New York. Lieutenant Edward Meehan, Fire Department, City of New York. Joseph J. Parisi, Seasons Contracting. Detective Eugene Madden, New York City Police Department. Detective Michael L. Leddick, New York City Police Department. Rosa A. Williams, Army National Guard. Marcia L. Garside, FEMA. EMS Deputy Chief Joetti E. Frizzell, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter Paul R. Tokarski, Fire Department, City of New York. Police Officer Thomas J. Gallagher, Jr., New York City Police Department. Firefighter William E. Switzer, Fire Department, City of New York. Ferry Captain Thomas Phelan, Statue Cruises. Firefighter Keith Young, Fire Department, City of New York. Special Agent Melissa S. Morrow, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Detective Pedro Esponda, Jr., New York City Police Department. Lieutenant William Wanzer, New York City Police Department. Chief David Lockenhauer, Watertown Fire Department. Firefighter Anthony Incarbone, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter John L. Bueller, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter George Froelich, Fire Department, City of New York. Janet Nagel, Registered Nurse. Detective Kimberly Hodge, New York City Police Department. Detective John P. Napolitano, New York City Police Department. Chief Michael J. Timo Jr., Holbrook Fire Department. Police Officer Mark J. Natale, New York City Police Department. Police Officer Scott Blackshaw, New York City Police Department. Chief William Ali, New York City Police Department. Firefighter Robert J. Lembo, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter Michael J. Danica, Fire Department, City of New York. Detective Harry R. Valentin, New York City Police Department. Special Agent David J. Lavalli, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Trooper First Class Walter Green, Connecticut State Police. Police Officer William P. Farley, New York City Police Department. Police Officer Robert C. Lones, New York City Police Department. Auxiliary Police Lieutenant Herman Kaplan, New York City Police Department. Edward Alston, New York City Department of Sanitation. Firefighter Charles Akon, Jersey City Fire Department. Steve Larson, New York City Department of Sanitation. Manager Patrick O'Carroll, Metropolitan Transit Authority. James Barrett, Local 3. Paramedic Bobby Joe Griggs Lawrence, Oregon Disaster Medical Assistance Team. Dr. Mertane Haskin, New York City Police Department. Peter A. Grievous, Verizon. Sergeant Charles Salloway, New York State Police. Police Officer Brian R. Abendadel, Nassau County Police Department. Police Officer Raymond P. Fuscaldo, New York City Police Department. Sergeant Barbara Jean Sullivan, New York City Police Department. Firefighter Thomas K. Conzizes, Fire Department, City of New York. Supervisory Special Agent Rex A. Stockham, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent Lori Fournier, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent Paul H. Wilson, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Supervisory Special Agent Robert M. Roth, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent Jerry D. Job, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent Gerard D. Santori, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent William R. Craig, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Supervisory Special Agent Stephen A. Carr, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent Wesley J. Yu, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Police Dispatcher Marion C. Grillo, New York City Police Department. Captain Alexander Anastasio, New York City Department of Corrections. Supervisory Special Agent Brian L. Cruz, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Detective Thomas Barnett, New York City Police Department. Sergeant Richie Magic, Westchester County Department of Corrections. Chief Ronald R. Spatafora, Fire Department, City of New York. Police Officer Gary L. Koch, New York City Police Department. Detective Brian J. McGuire, Jr., New York City Police Department. Conan Freuds, volunteer. Captain John Vigiano, Fire Department, City of New York. Battalion Chief Robert Muccio, Fire Department, City of New York. Firefighter Charles Williams, Fire Department, City of New York. Lieutenant John J. Brandt, Port Authority Department. Police Officer Paul J. Johnson, New York City Police Department. Lieutenant Clark W. Douglas, White Plains Fire Department. Firefighter Michael Levin, Fire Department, City of New York. Fire Marshal Alan Cantanillo, Fire Department, City of New York. Detective Sergeant Robert P. Massey, New York City Police Department. Janine L. Winter, New York Task Force 1. Firefighter Michael T. McDonald, Fire Department, City of New York. Nicole A. Davis Johnson, paramedic. Trooper James Perino, New York State Police. Police Officer Kathleen O'Connor, New York City, New Rochelle Police Department. Deborah Doherty Turco, Disaster Medical Assistance Team, Massachusetts 1. Rodney P. Leibowitz, dentist. Firefighter Jimmy Martinez, Fire Department, City of New York. Detective Bruce Brennan, Jr., New York City Police Department. EMS Lieutenant Raymond Tilke, Fire Department, City of New York. Emergency Medical Technician William F. Ryan, Bay Community Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Okay. Anthony J. Santamarina, FDNY.
Police Officer Scott N. Gaines, New York City Police Department. Police Officer John P. Ferrari, New York City Police Department.
Can we raise the flag? Tabs. Please stay standing. John Zolo.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, well, there's pride in every American heart. It's time we stand and say, but I'm proud to be an American, but at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, but at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Sit down again. Up, down, up, down. So over the last few years, we usually lowered the flag all the way and raised it. But it is time consuming. It takes about 10 minutes for the whole process. So we did an improvised version of that. This way we can get everybody out of here by 11 o'clock, hopefully. So every year, we would take that flag, we throw it in a box, but that flag's already in this box. So every year we dedicate a flag to somebody, and this year we chose Matt McCauley. So you just heard Matt read names, but what you don't know, Matt's also a VCF attorney. He's also a 9/11 responder, former NYPD, and he's walked the halls of Congress in DC and the halls of Albany with us, and he's part of the team that whipped the snot out of ISIS. So with that being said, so you know, we're all friends with ISIS now too. I'm not making that up. On behalf of the Feel Good Foundation 9/11 Responders Remembrance Park, this flag is dedicated to Matt McCauley, and this flag flew over the United States Capitol.
member, and I'd like to introduce Caitlin Burney to sing Over the Rainbow. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Caitlin Burney, and we live in a troubled world. Once upon a time, a young girl named Dorothy thought she could make her troubles go away by wishing for a world without troubles, a world somewhere over the rainbow. Throughout her adventures, she learned that a world without troubles is only a dream. There is only one world. And today, we remember the courageous men and women who gave their lives to make our one world a better place. So as you listen to the lyrics, remember that it is up to us to make our summer over the rainbow a reality. Remember, when all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane just a step down the lane.
Yeah. And one more time, Caitlin Burney.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if we would try. No hell below us, above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die
Good time to hold hands with everybody now. Maybe we go hold hands, no?
Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one, and the world will live as one.
Just so you know, East End Helicopters, which is owned by Mike Shulaba, retired NYPD Stage 3 cancer survivor from 9/11, does that for free. So the congressman are off the hook to pay you that. You know, I want to personally thank IHOP. You guys take some bagels home. My childhood best friend Chris, who owns 5 IHOPs, go into any one of them, say, you know, John, you'll eat for free. Chris. So Chris supplied coffee and donut, bagels and orange juice. So please enjoy. So this event is technically over, but we have 2 more things to do. So I ask you to sit there for about 2 minutes. Tom Swazi's going to, Congressman Swazi's going to present a proclamation to a couple people here. And then the famous toaster is going to present the check. So bear with us, and then we can all go about our merry ways and be Americans. Thank you.
John, first let me say what a great honor it is to be here with all of you. I don't even represent the area, Lee does, and I appreciate you letting me come here today.
Wouldn't it be cool if he joined you?
Yeah, come on up here. And I've got a million things to say, but I've got to stay very short. And my father was born in Italy, and my grandfather used to give a speech at all the family weddings, and he would give advice to the new couple. And he'd say, what is marriage? He'd say it's a long journey with a lot of ups and downs. But that's okay, because in life, non ci sono rose senza spine. You can't have a rose without the thorns. You can't have the good things in life without the suffering. You couldn't appreciate the good things in life without the suffering. And today, every single name that we heard today represents a tremendous amount of suffering. And think of the thousands of names that aren't even on this list yet. And the suffering that goes on in all of our lives on a regular basis, whether it's in our families, in our communities, the things we read in the newspaper. But today we celebrate the roses of life, really the best part of life, when a whole community came together, Democrats and Republicans, all different types of folks from all different backgrounds, all came together to say, we want to honor these people that gave their lives and gave so much. And we want to thank the people that have volunteered. Let's give all the volunteers such a thank you for all the work they do, make the ceremony and all this stuff happen today. This is such important business. Okay, it's such a great honor and privilege to serve in the United States Congress. You go to Afghanistan, you go to South Korea, you do all these different things, you talk about such important issues, healthcare, and all these different things. This issue is so important. It's life and death. And politics has gotten so small and so petty and so cynical, not worthy of how important this stuff really is. And we need to, all of us, not just Lee and I, but all of us, every single person here needs to be a dreamer and try and figure out how we can lift up this conversation and stop writing off each other. They're this one, they're that one, I'm not talking to this one, I'm not talking to that one. We've got to do our job and try and make this country live up to the promise that it really stands for. So I brought with me a proclamation and a flag that flew over the Capitol that I want to present to the Feel Good Foundation and thank them for all the great work that they do. And John, if you'll come up here, and our new president and outgoing president will also come up as well. Come on. Please. I've got proclamations here for Judy to congratulate her in her new position. To Martin, 4 years of service in this position. Let's thank him. 4 years of his life was dedicated to this. And Matt, I want to congratulate you. Your speech was the best one all day because it was only about 4 words. Great job. Thank you so much. And I want to just ask Lee Zeldin just if you want to just say 1 or 2 words.
John Field's a veteran. There are a lot of veterans here. There's a lot of sacrifice here in this crowd. And I just want to very briefly say thank you for what is the privilege to be able to live in the greatest nation on earth because of the sacrifice of you and your loved one. Our hearts are with each and every one of you. God bless you.
And now a presentation from the famous Toastery. If you haven't eaten there, sorry, Chris. They're really, really good.
Good morning. On behalf of the famous Toastery's newest location in restaurant Comac, we'd like to make this donation to the Feel Good Foundation and the responders in Menlo Park, totaling $5,500. And most of all, thank you to John and his board. They epitomized the term we will never forget. Thank you.
We want to thank everybody for coming. Please stay. Please absorb the wall. Please get to know other people. Please make new friends, new contacts. And sadly, we will see you next year. Thank you.
Yeah, I even